Chosen one, pause, listen, stop scrolling, do not click away. Listen very closely to the words I am about to speak over your life, for they are not my words, but a divine decree sent from the throne room of heaven. You are not here by accident. Let that sink into your spirit. This is not a coincidence. This is not a random video that the algorithm suggested. You were guided here. Your spirit, your weary soul, cried out for an answer, for a breakthrough, for a sign, and heaven has responded. The Holy Spirit has guided you to this very message at this precise moment in your timeline. This is a divine appointment. This is a sacred meeting, orchestrated by heaven itself, to address the very thing that has been weighing on your heart. God has heard your silent prayers. He has seen the tears you cried when no one was watching. He has felt the crushing weight on your shoulders, the anxiety that keeps you awake at 3 a.m., the shame and the fear that you have carried for so long. You have felt bound. You have felt trapped. You have felt like you are drowning. And He has sent this word today as a lifeline. He has sent this message to declare your freedom. A supernatural transfer is beginning in your life. But this is not just any transfer. This is a supernatural cancellation. A supernatural release from every chain, every bond, and every prison that has held you captive. I am speaking prophetically to the spirit of debt that has tormented you. The financial debt that feels like a mountain you can never climb. The emotional debt that has drained your spirit. The spiritual and karmic debts that have followed you from season to season. Today, its power over you is breaking. Today, its authority in your life is nullified. You did not find this message. This message found you. It was dispatched from heaven like an arrow with your name on it. It was sent on a divine assignment to locate the one who has been crying out for a way out. And that one is you. You are the chosen one God has set His sights on for this miracle. This is your moment of release. This is not entertainment. This is not a casual listen. This is an activation. This is a holy encounter. Heaven is bending low to whisper this truth to you. It is finished. The struggle you have endured, the feeling of being buried, the constant cycle of lack and just enough, it was not for nothing. It was a test. It was a refining fire. And you have passed. You held on. You kept believing, even when the bills piled higher. You kept praying, even when the phone calls wouldn't stop. You kept your faith, even when the silence from heaven felt deafening. And your faithfulness in that long, dark season has activated this divine moment of release. This is your appointment with destiny. This is the moment your timeline shifts. This is the dividing line in your life. There is the before this message, and there is the after. And in the after, you walk in a freedom you have never known. So prepare your heart. Open your spirit to receive. Do not doubt this word. Do not let the enemy whisper lies of how or when. Your only job right now is to receive the decree. A supernatural debt cancellation is in motion. A miraculous release is beginning. The chains are breaking. The ledgers are being cleared in the realms of the Spirit. The contracts that held you captive are being burned by the fire of the Holy Spirit. The weight is lifting from your shoulders even as you listen to this. The anxiety is beginning to recede. Peace is flooding your heart. This is the work of God. This is your divine appointment. And the subject of this appointment is your total and complete freedom. A supernatural transfer of freedom is beginning right now. The season of bondage is over. Your season of divine liberty has just begun. You have felt the crushing burden of debt for so long, chosen one. You know the weight of it. It's the first thing you think of when you wake up, and the last anxious thought that haunts you before you fall asleep. It is the feeling of your stomach dropping when the phone rings from an unknown number. It is the shame that washes over you when you have to say no to your children, or I can't to a friend. It is the silent calculation in the grocery store aisle. It is the feeling of being a prisoner in your own life, bound by a number on a screen, a ledger in a book. You have felt the crushing burden of financial debt. But more than that, you have felt the emotional debt, the feeling of owing everyone, of being a burden, of never being able to get ahead. You have felt the karmic debt, the spiritual debt, the cyclical patterns of lack and struggle that have plagued your bloodline, the feeling that you are paying for mistakes you don't even remember. You have felt unseen. You have felt hopeless. You have looked at the mountain before you and believed it was unmovable. You have prayed for freedom. You have cried out for a miracle, and the silence felt like a rejection. Every silent prayer, every "not yet," every door that slammed shut in your face. It all felt like a confirmation of your fear, that you were forgotten, that you were being punished. But God has sent me here today to tell you, with all the authority of heaven, that you have misunderstood the season you have been in. Your pain was real, but its purpose was hidden from you. Until now, you thought this season of lack was your punishment. You thought God was angry with you. You thought you had made too many mistakes, that you had strayed too far, and that this debt was your penance. The Father says today, it was not punishment, it was preparation. You were not being punished, chosen one. You were being prepared. How can you be trusted to steward the supernatural abundance God is releasing if your heart has not been humbled by lack? How can you become a conduit for millions if you have not learned compassion for those with nothing? This season prepared you. It stripped away your pride. It broke your reliance on your own strength, on your own salary, on your own cleverness. It forced you to your knees. It taught you that He, and He alone, is your source. You were being prepared to receive a weight of glory, a weight of wealth that your old self could not have handled. This season was a prerequisite for your promotion. You felt every delay as a rejection, every loan application denied, every promise that fell through, every person who said no. You felt abandoned. You felt that heaven's door was closed to you. The Father says today, it was not rejection. It was your protection. That delay was your divine protection. Do you understand? If that money had come through 6 months ago, you would have poured it into a venture that was destined to fail. If that person had saved you last year, they would have owned you. God was protecting you from false opportunities. He was protecting you from traps disguised as blessings. He was protecting you from partners who would have stolen your destiny. The delay was an act of profound mercy, hiding you, preserving you, shielding you from a disaster you could not see. He was waiting for this precise, ordained moment, this kairos moment where the release could come cleanly, miraculously, and all glory would go only to Him. You looked at your life, at the mountain of bills, at the obligations, and you said, I am buried. You felt the darkness, the pressure, the suffocation. You felt you were dying under the weight of it all. The Father says today, you were not being buried. You were being planted. A seed cannot become what it is destined to be unless it is first buried in the dark. That darkness you felt, that was the soil. That pressure you felt, that was the catalyst for germination. You were not dying in the dark, chosen one. You were germinating. God planted you. And in that dark, secret place, He was building roots of resilience within you. Roots of faith. Roots of character. Roots strong enough to hold up the great tree of abundance you are about to become. You were not being buried. You were in God's greenhouse. And the season of planting is now over. The season of harvest, the season of breaking through the ground, is here. You looked at the chaos of your finances, the confusion of your situation, and you felt lost. It made no sense. The Father says today, it was not confusion, it was construction. While you were seeing chaos, God was seeing a construction site. He was demolishing the old, faulty foundations of your life. Foundations built on fear, on self-reliance, on worldly systems. It had to be torn down so something new, something holy, could be built. The confusion you felt was simply the sound of divine construction. He was rearranging your entire life. He was building the framework for your debt-free future. A future so glorious your current mind cannot even conceive of it. So you see, chosen one, your pain had a profound purpose. It was not punishment. It was preparation. It was not rejection. It was protection. You were not being buried. You were being planted. It was not confusion. It was construction. And now, that season of preparation is complete. The work is done. Your release has been authorized in the courts of heaven. You have prayed for freedom. You have prayed for a way out. You have cried out in the secret place, God, how long? When will this end? You have looked at your situation, and by every natural law, by every human calculation, it has looked impossible. You did the math. You looked at your income. You looked at your expenses. You looked at the mountain of debt, and you knew that in your own strength, you could never, ever overcome it. And that, chosen one, is precisely the point. This intervention is happening now because you have finally reached the end of your own strength. You have exhausted your own resources. You have tried every plan, every strategy, and every human effort, and the mountain did not budge. And now, you are in the perfect position to receive a miracle. God is telling me to tell you, this is not a normal payment plan. This is not a message about budgeting better or working a second job. You have done that. You are weary from that. This is a message of supernatural intervention. A divine intervention is in motion. An angelic assistance has been dispatched. A decree has been issued from the throne room, and it has your name on it. This is your divine financial release. You must understand how God is about to do this, so you can recognize it when it comes. The enemy wants you to look for it in the old ways, in the human ways. But this release will be so miraculous, so sudden, and so far beyond your own ability that you will have no choice but to give God all the glory. For many of you listening right now, this supernatural cancellation will manifest as an unexpected sum of money. I am prophesying this over you. A check in the mail you did not expect, a rebate, a forgotten policy, an inheritance from a source you did not know, a relative who suddenly decides to bless you, a lawsuit that settles in your favor, a forgotten investment that suddenly matures. God has 1,000 ways to get money to you. He is the God of all resources. He is activating one of these channels right now. It will be the exact amount you need to wipe the slate clean. And in many cases, it will be more than enough. It will be overflow. For others of you, this release will not come as money in your hand. It will come as a supernatural forgiveness of the debt itself. Listen to me. The very person, the very institution, the very entity that you owe, God is moving on their heart right now. A spirit of grace and forgiveness is washing over them. You are about to receive a letter, an email, or a phone call. And that phone call you have been dreading will be the very call that sets you free. They will say, "We are wiping the slate clean." They will say, "We are canceling the balance." They will say, "You owe nothing." It will make no logical sense. It will defy business practices. It is because the King of Kings has issued a decree on your behalf. He is touching the hearts of kings and CEOs and bankers and turning them in your favor. And for some of you, this divine release will manifest as a golden opportunity. It will be an idea that drops into your spirit in the middle of the night. A divine download, an idea for a business, a book, a project, so anointed and so favored by God that what would have taken others 10 years to build, you will build in 6 months. It will be a job offer that comes out of nowhere, with a salary that not only pays your present, but erases your past. It will be a single contract, a single divine connection, that in one move, in one signature, wipes out a decade of struggle. This is the intervention that is in motion. This is not a maybe. This is not a someday. This is an active prophecy for those who have been prepared for it. And why? Why you? Why now? Because you have passed the test of the wilderness. Because you have proven you can be trusted. Because in your season of lack, you did not curse God. You cried out to Him. You held on to your integrity. You held on to your faith, even if it was just by a thread. And the Father says, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over little. I will now make you ruler over much. This is your Jubilee." In the ancient scriptures, the Jubilee was a divine command. Every 50 years, all debts were cancelled. All prisoners were set free. All land was returned to its original owners. It was a supernatural reset button for the entire economy. It was God's way of ensuring that no one was bound by lack forever. Chosen one, this is your personal Jubilee. Your 50th year, your moment of release, has come. The trumpet is sounding in the spirit realm. The chains are falling. The prison doors are swinging open. The ledgers are being cleared. This is not just financial. This is spiritual. The generational curses of poverty and lack that have plagued your bloodline, they are being broken today. The karmic cycles of struggle, the spirit of just enough, the spirit of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Its assignment against your life is over. You are stepping out of a lineage of debt and into a new divine bloodline of abundance, of overflow, of more than enough. God is clearing your name. He is clearing your credit report. He is clearing your conscience. He is giving you a fresh start. He is not just paying for your past. He is funding your future. He is wiping the slate clean so you can finally breathe, so you can finally dream again, so you can finally stop surviving and start building the kingdom work He has called you to do. The intervention is active. The release is in motion. Your season of bondage is over. Your divine financial release is here. I am not speaking these words to you from a place of theory, chosen one. I am not a messenger who has read about this in a book. I am a witness who has lived this in my bones. I know that silence. I know the suffocating silence that fills your car after you've looked at your bank account. I know the silence that hangs in the air when your child asks for something simple and your throat tightens because you cannot provide it. I know the silence of 3 a.m. when the only sound is your own heart pounding with anxiety, as the list of what you owe scrolls through your mind like a tormentor. I know the shame. I know the feeling of avoiding calls, of hiding your reality from your friends and family, of putting on a brave face while inside you are crumbling, drowning in the red. I have lived that season. I have lived the season of robbing Peter to pay Paul. I have lived the season of calculating every single penny, of praying for a miracle just to make it through the week. I have lived the season of feeling like a failure, of looking at my life and wondering where I went wrong, of crying out to God, "Why me? Why is this so hard? Why have you forsaken me?" I remember the nights I knelt by my bed, my Bible open, my tears staining the pages, and my prayers felt like they were hitting a brass ceiling. The silence from heaven was deafening. I felt unseen. I felt forgotten. I felt punished. I remember losing everything. I remember the moment I hit my rock bottom, the moment the accounts were empty, the moment the eviction notice was real, the moment the car was taken, the moment I had nothing left to lean on, no one left to call, no plan B, C, or D. I was stripped bare of my pride, my dignity, and my own strength. I was reduced to nothing. It was the most terrifying moment of my life, and it was the most sacred, because in that moment of total devastation, when I had nothing left, I was finally in a place to receive everything. In that darkness, I thought I was being buried. I thought my life was over. I thought, this is the end. I have failed. But I was not being buried. I was being planted. That rock bottom was not my grave. It was my furrowed ground. God had to wait until I was completely broken, completely surrendered, completely emptied of my plans, so that He could begin His. The very same spirit of lack that is tormenting you tormented me. The same chains you feel, I wore. The same hopelessness that whispers to you in the night screamed at me. I am not speaking to you from a high castle, removed from your pain. I am speaking to you as a fellow soldier who has come through the very war you are fighting right now. And I am here to tell you that the season of pain has a divine purpose. When I tell you that your pain is preparation, I know this because my pain was my preparation. That season of lack taught me humility. It taught me compassion. It taught me to trust God as my only source, not my job, not my intellect, not my connections. He was preparing me to handle the overflow He had planned, and I had to be broken so that I would not become arrogant in the blessing. When I tell you that your delay is protection, I am a living witness to this truth. I remember the opportunities I prayed for, the loans I begged for, the doors I tried to kick down, and God kept them all shut. I was angry. I was confused. But now, I see. He was protecting me. He was protecting me from predatory partners. He was protecting me from investments that would have bankrupted me. He was protecting me from a blessing that was actually a trap sent by the enemy. His no was not a rejection. It was a profound act of preservation. He was protecting my destiny. When I tell you that you are not buried but planted, I know this because I am the fruit of that planting. I lived in that dark soil. I felt the pressure and the silence. It felt like an ending. But in that darkness, roots were forming. A foundation was being built. A resilience was being forged in my spirit that the enemy could never steal. And when the release came, it did not make sense. It was not a paycheck. It was not a logical step. It was a meal. It was a sudden, supernatural move of God. It was a debt forgiven that should not have been forgiven. It was an idea that dropped into my spirit. A divine download that paid for a decade of struggle in a matter of months. It was a phone call I almost didn't answer that changed my entire life. It was a supernatural release, just like the one that is in motion for you right now. So do not listen to the voice of doubt. Do not let the enemy tell you that this message is for someone else. I am living proof that this is real. I am a testament to the fact that God can take a life defined by debt and turn it into a life defined by destiny. And the same God who did it for me, the same God who brought me out of the pit and set my feet on solid ground, is the same God who orchestrated this divine appointment. He is the same God who is bending low to whisper to you right now. You are next. The supernatural transfer is beginning. The release you have been praying for is no longer a someday promise, chosen one. It is an active reality. It is in motion now. The decree has been released from the throne room. The angels have been given their assignments. The chains that have bound your finances, your mind, and your destiny are shattering in the spirit realm, and you are about to see the physical manifestation of this freedom. So, what is this promise? What is this reward that God has reserved for you for this precise moment after all you have endured? First, the reward is peace. Before the money, before the blessing, God is restoring your peace. The peace that was stolen from you by the tormenting spirit of debt. The peace that surpasses all human understanding. I am talking about the ability to sleep soundly through the night for the first time in years. The ability to wake up in the morning without that instant, crushing weight of dread landing on your chest. The ability to answer your phone without your heart pounding in fear. The ability to open your mail without a wave of shame. This is a divine exchange. God is taking your anxiety, your fear, and your shame, and He is giving you His supernatural peace. Second, the reward is wealth and access. Let us be clear, God is not a God of just enough. He is not bringing you out of debt just to leave you at zero. He is bringing you out to make you an example of His overflow. He is releasing wealth, kingdom wealth, wealth for a purpose, wealth to build His kingdom, wealth to fund your assignment, wealth to be a blessing to your family and to generations you will never even meet. And with this wealth, He is releasing access, doors that were violently slammed in your face, doors that were sealed shut by gatekeepers, are now swinging open wide. You are about to walk into rooms you were never invited into. You are about to sit at tables you were told you were not qualified for. God is giving you access to people, to resources, to opportunities that your human effort could never have secured. Third, the reward is influence and favor. This supernatural release is not just for you, it is for the people you are called to impact. God is increasing your influence. The very people who looked down on you in your season of lack, the very people who dismissed you and wrote you off, will now come to you for wisdom. They will see the undeniable hand of God on your life, and they will be drawn to the light that you carry. Your voice will suddenly have weight. Your words will carry authority. And this will all be carried on the wings of divine favor. Favor is the supernatural oil of heaven that makes everything work. It is the intangible asset that propels you forward. Favor is what causes people to bless you without knowing why. Favor is what causes policies to be bent in your name. Favor is what makes you stand out in a crowd. This favor is your new reality. And the most powerful part of this promise? The speed. The preparation was long, wasn't it? The season of planting felt like an eternity, but the season of harvest, the season of this promise, will be fast. God is telling me to tell you, what took the enemy years to build against you, God is going to tear down in days. What would have taken you decades to repay, working and toiling in your own strength, God is about to resolve in a moment. Get ready for divine acceleration. Get ready for the suddenlies of God. Sudden checks in the mail, sudden phone calls of forgiveness, sudden ideas that drop into your spirit and are fully funded in a week, sudden job offers, sudden settlements, Your timeline is being supernaturally compressed by the hand of God. The years the locusts have eaten, the years you spent in struggle, in shame, in delay, are being restored to you in a single season of miraculous, rapid turnaround. It will be so fast your head will spin. It will be so miraculous that no one, not even you, will be able to take the credit. It will be an undeniable testimony to the power and the goodness of God. So how do you receive this? This promise is not passive. You must activate it. There are two keys to your activation. First, you must prepare your heart. You must prepare the container for this blessing. You cannot receive a blessing of overflow with a mindset of lack. You must stop talking like you are in debt. Starting today, you must stop rehearsing your problems and start prophesying your promise. You must change your language. When you feel the anxiety rising, you open your mouth and declare, "My God is supplying all of my needs according to his riches in glory. I am free. The chains are broken." You must enlarge your vision. Stop praying for just enough to pay the bill. Start thanking God for the overflow that is on its way. You must become the person who can steward this miracle before it arrives. Second, God says, use what's in your hands. This is the key. Faith without works is dead. Your action is the antenna that pulls this miracle from the spirit realm into your reality. What is in your hand? Is it a skill, a talent, an idea God gave you, a phone call you've been afraid to make, an email you've been procrastinating on? Your act of faith is the trigger. Moses had a staff. The widow had a jar of oil. You have something. Your obedience in the little thing is what unlocks the big miracle. Send that email. Start that website. Write that proposal. Apply for that position. Your small step of faith is a signal to heaven that you are ready, and it is the very thing that activates the divine avalanche of your breakthrough. The transfer is beginning. The promise of peace, wealth, access, and favor is yours. The speed will be supernatural. Prepare your heart. Use what is in your hands. Your jubilee has begun. Chosen one, if this message resonated with you, if these words of divine release, of supernatural debt cancellation, have caused something to leap in your spirit, know that this is not an accident. That feeling, that resonance, is your spirit bearing witness to the truth. It is the Holy Spirit confirming that this word was not for the masses, it was for you. It was a divine arrow from heaven, and it has hit the bullseye of your heart. But this prophecy is active. It is a divine invitation, and like any invitation, it must be accepted. A check, no matter how large, provides no value until it is cashed. A promise, no matter how powerful, must be received. This is your moment to co-sign the divine decree that heaven has already issued on your behalf. This is your moment to align your will with God's will. This is your moment to make a conscious, powerful, psychological commitment to your freedom. This is not a time to be a passive listener. You have been passive in your pain for long enough. This is a time to be an active receiver. So right now, I am calling you to perform two acts of powerful faith, a dual action that seals this promise in your life, both in the spirit realm and in the physical. First, your psychological commitment. This is your personal declaration of independence. This is you serving a legal notice to the enemy, to the spirit of lack, and to the powers of darkness that their assignment against your life is over. In the comment section below, I want you to write, with all the faith and conviction you can muster, "I am free." Do not just type it. I want you to feel it. As your fingers hit the keys, I want you to feel the chains breaking. As you look at those words on your screen, I want you to see the prison doors swinging wide open. Feel the crushing weight lifting from your shoulders. Type, "I am free" as a declaration of faith. Type it as a legal notice to your past. Type it as a welcome mat for your future. You are declaring, "I am no longer a slave to debt. I am no longer bound by fear. I am no longer identified by my lack. I am free. It is done." Or, if it resonates more deeply, I want you to type, "I receive my release." Type this as an act of activation. You are activating your supernatural jubilee. You are activating the divine cancellation. You are signaling to heaven, "Father, I am ready. My heart is open. I am not just hearing this word. I am receiving this miracle. This is your. Amen. This is your. So be it. This is you standing in agreement with the hosts of heaven who are fighting on your behalf. Your fingers typing this declaration is the 2025 version of Moses lifting his staff at the Red Sea. It is your point of contact. It is the physical act that unleashes the supernatural power. Do not underestimate the power of this single act. This is your line in the sand. Second, your algorithmic signal. We must partner with the systems of this world to spread this divine message. As a second witness, as a symbol of your faith, and as a signal to heaven that this work is complete, I want you to comment the number of divine completion and abundance. Comment 777. Let the number 777 flood this comment section. Let it be a digital trumpet blast, announcing that your jubilee has begun. The number 7 represents divine perfection, completion, and rest. You are declaring that the cycle of toil and struggle is finished. You are declaring that you are entering God's supernatural rest. A rest where He provides, He protects, and He promotes. When you type 777, you are aligning your frequency with the frequency of miracles. You are telling the universe that you are no longer available for lack, for struggle, for just enough. You are now available for overflow. You are available for completion. You are available for the supernatural. And finally, if this message has truly set you free, you have one more assignment. Do not keep this freedom to yourself. This divine appointment was for you, but this breakthrough message is for many. Right now, someone you know is in the same secret prison you were just released from. A friend, a family member, someone on your timeline. They are crying those same silent tears. They are feeling that same crushing weight. They are one click away from giving up hope. You must share this video. Do not hesitate. Do not overthink it. Your act of sharing is not just sharing a link. You are sharing a lifeline. You are sharing a divine intervention. You are becoming an angel on assignment, a messenger of hope for someone else. Your single act of sharing could be the catalyst that sets their entire family, their entire bloodline, free from the curse of poverty. Be the miracle you have been praying for. Share this video now. I bless you. I bless your finances. I bless your future. I stand in agreement with your freedom. I declare, as a witness of heaven, that your debts are cancelled. Your season of lack is over. Your new season of divine peace, supernatural overflow, and unbelievable favor has just begun. This is your jubilee. This is your new beginning. Walk in it. Receive it. It is done.